Hey guys, how are you guys? I hope that you guys are having a lovely day today. So, today I wanted to come and talk to you about something that I had to deal with a lot of, and it is betrayal. Yes, betrayal. I know you're probably like, why do you want to talk about something that is so negative? I'm going to tell you, it's because sometimes a lot of people go through it, right? And that is one of the main things as a human that when you go through it, you can actually um, get bitter from. Yeah, it can make you bitter. Betrayal is something that is, it cuts deep, right? Because if it's doesn't come from somebody who's not close to you, it doesn't matter, right? You don't feel it as much. But that deep cut usually comes from someone that you love, someone that you respect, someone that you never thought would do something so horrible to you. And when you are betrayed, it 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 creates trauma. It does. So I've been betrayed many times. I'm trying to think of when, which one I should talk about right now. All right. So, um, we'll talk about the one that kind of cut the deepest, I'll say. Um, I grew up with someone that was very, very close to me. You could call her a sister. And that person knew that I was in love with someone and that they knew that I would do anything for that person. Me and that person that I was in love with fell out. And um, that young lady decided to get closer to the person I fell out with, right? My ex, she got closer to the point where she was celebrating holidays with him and partying with him. And um, and then a close friend of ours decided to come to me and tell me that they were intimate together. And this hurt because this is not just a regular guy, you know what I mean? This is someone who is that I've been with, right? And that person who should know better is someone who's been around us together, has seen our relationship. And it used to bother me because I used to see them talking, hanging out on social media, and I'd always be like, if the shoe was on the other foot, I would have been encouraged him and her to the mend the broken pieces. And I just noticed that there is no encouragement for her wanting me to mend the pieces. In fact, it looks like they got very, very close after we were not together anymore. And it hurt, right? Push come to shove. A good friend told me everything. And then I went through like grieving, right? I had this information and I thought to myself, do I confront her, right? Because I felt like she should have done the thing where you come and talk to somebody like me, right? Because we're close. Or do I get upset with him because he knows that that is somebody who is very close to me and he should know better? And then I said to myself, right? It makes no sense to have a conversation because the two people know exactly what they did. And none of them are remorseful. In fact, it is still a secret. They think it's a secret, but I know. And I struggled with this information for so long. Let me tell you, when I say I struggled, I was like a hot mess. I would cry. I would speak to my best friends. And it was like a ball of anger in my spirit. then I would get invited to certain things and I would go, and then I would like literally have like dreams of me confronting that person. But then I'm like, that person is such of a close person to me. I feel like by me confronting them, it would start more drama, and I just did not want the smoke because I felt like I had enough, like in terms of like lifing with me. And guess what? I started to pray. I started asking God to heal me. I started asking God to help me forgive them, right? And it took years. It took years for God to take away that pain. I would be around them at different times. There was a time I was around them and they were in the same room. And I suppressed it because the more I prayed and the more that I spent time with God over the years, I realized that there are certain things that people do to get a rise out of you. They want you to go crazy. They want to laugh. They do things on purpose. They allow the devil to use them to do things on purpose that will get a reaction that'll make you act different from what God created you to be. And if you're a queen, baby, we don't argue. We don't fight. That's what we got God for. God is our daddy. That's our big brother. That's our husband. He handles it. And the thing about it is that it would have irritated me more. Just like a fly, like grossing me out. So it would have irritated me more if I had go ahead and had a discussion. Oh, I'm going to confront her. I'm going to tell her something, or I'm going to confront him. And then what? They would have laughed. See, think about Judas, right? In the Bible. Jesus already knew that Judas was going to betray him. What did he do? Did he argue with him? Did he push him away? No, he didn't push him away. He did not push him away. Jesus was around him the whole time. Jesus let him come certain places with him. He kept on moving around with him, knowing that Judas was going to betray him. In fact, he did tell Judas. He was like, "You're going to betray me. I know you're going to do it." And Judas was like, "Me? No." But Jesus didn't do it in a confronting way, accusatory, like, "Oh, you're going to do that to me, and, I'm never going to talk to you again." No, he just was like, "Listen, I know what you're about. I know what you're about." Right? He even let him still be part of the Last Supper. Right? Jesus could have been angry and said, I took you under my wings and I've done this for you and I've been here for you and this is how you repay me. No, he did not do none of that. He did not do none of that. He calmly said, when I think it was when in the Bible he was letting him know what's going to happen, and he just was like, yeah, and Judas, yeah, I know you're going to betray me. He was calm, cool, and collected about the entire thing. He never had anger. He never was upset because he already knew that was part of the plan. That was the plan, right? It was supposed to happen. And that's the key to remember, is that it's supposed to happen. When you know that it's supposed to happen, because everything happens for a reason. And even if it hurts and you feel like that's crazy that you would say that, it is, right? Certain situations happen in order to sharpen you. How are you going to deal with it? This life is about choices. How are you going to deal with certain things, right? And then when you understand, all right, every time certain situations happen, I always react this way. Once I react this way, I go into a whole bunch of mess. I start rolling into it. This is just confrontation. This is conflict. This is not what brings me happy. This don't glorify God. This is not making me sleep at night. It gets me angry. It makes me act out of character than what I want to act like. Then you already know that's not the decision to make, right? But then if you make the other decision this time and say, you know what they did, that's not my business. They did that to hurt me. I'm not going to allow it to hurt me. It's kind of messed up. Yeah, it's messed up, but it's okay, because at the end of the day, that's on them. They got to live with that. That's not on me. I am free, right? And if I don't want to be around that certain person, I don't have to, because I control who's around me. I don't have to share. See, also in the Bible, after because Jesus knew Judas was going to betray him, there was a time that he went to go pray, and he only asked certain people to pray with him. He did not invite Judas. He did not. Judas was around them. He was disciples. He was there. He didn't tell Judas, come up and pray with me. No, he let Judas stay out. When you have discernment and wisdom that you get from God, you will understand there's certain friends you cannot tell everything to. You can't have them pray with you. You can't have them around certain things. And that happens through wisdom and understanding. Jesus knew what was going to happen. And that is the reason why he was so kind. He was still having Judas around him, but he knew what was going to happen. And he had boundaries. He's like, yeah, no, I'm going to take you, and we're going to go pray, and the other ones will stay down here. Jesus knew. So betrayal hurts, right? It hurts. You get angry. You got to pray about it. You got to deal with it. But don't let what people do to you stop you from moving forward. The goal is to stop you. The goal is to never let you be at peace. The goal is to see, let me laugh. Let me see how she gonna react. Let me make her look crazy, right? They want to laugh at you. They want to upset you. But you got self-control, right? Yeah, you act ratchet. You go ahead and you scream, you argue. And what? They did it already. They betrayed you already. Sometimes they even expect you to act that way, and you have to act the opposite way. Let me tell you something. When you realize that life, everything that we see around is spiritual, then you will start dealing with people differently. You will understand that you don't have to confront every single injustice. You don't have to argue for everything. You do not have to complain for everything. You just have to talk to God about everything. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. And all these things, and righteousness and all these things shall be added unto you. Talk to God about every injustice. Talk to God about the drama. Talk to God about what they do. He knows. He sees them. But at the end of the day, you got you. They don't have you. You got you. And loving yourselves means having respect for yourself, carrying yourself in the right way, and also creating boundaries. If you know somebody's grimy, you stay away. You stay away. You do not continue to open the door for them because you care about them and you love them. No. You will know them by their fruit. If they're always in mess, baby, they will bring mess to you. Let's be honest, all right? Anyway, I hope this blesses you, and I hope you have a great day.